Welcome in 304 Nation. I am your host, Sam the Man, and this is my halftime reaction to week 2 WVU versus the Kansas Jayhawks. If you haven't already, hit that subscription button. Leave comments down the bottom, and we'll talk while I'm on. So far, it's kind of what I've expected. Kansas showed up to play. They're looking okay. West Virginia is looking really good on offense. Um, Took a few notes during the game, just things I wanted to highlight. Um, the fourth and third call that Neil Brown made to go for it, that was a makeup call from the Pittsburgh game. Don't know if you picked up on that, but it was. I don't think if that had happened in the Pittsburgh game, he wouldn't have gone on 4-3 on 4th and 3 there in the first quarter. But kudos to Neil. We need more of that. The crowd liked it. It's one of the loudest times that they've cheered tonight. It was when he went for it on 4th and 3. I thought that was kind of funny. There's been some ticky-tack crap. I felt like that pass interference at the end of the first quarter was really ticky-tack. I didn't see all the hand play that was called, but it is what it is. Our D-backs are getting burnt, and we knew that would happen. We've got an injury. We've got a guy out for the first half. The D-backs are, not getting their heads around on the ball. They've got to clean that up on the back end. But so far, really, the story of the game, in my opinion, is Kansas and the schemes that they're running. They're super scheme happy tonight. I don't know if you guys have noticed, they're running a lot of really odd schemes, changing everything up from play to play to the point where it's confusing West Virginia, their defensive line and their defensive backs, when you have that much youth at the D-back position. That kind of strategy is kind of it's smart. It's going to keep them in the game. West Virginia has got to clean that up a little bit. They've got to be ready for the schemes they're going to see in the second half. All in all, I still look for West Virginia to win 28-21 at the half. West Virginia will pull it out. It's just, not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see a copy of the defensive performance from last week with some more explosive offensive firepower, which we are seeing. JT Daniels, it's been so long since we've had a quarterback that can make his throws, good throws like that. Like I find myself just kind of staring at him, just wondering, where he's been all my life. But yeah, guys, man, it's been a crazy day for college football. If you've been watching, man, post what do you think the biggest upset of the day is? There's several to pick from. There's a game still going. I'm going to actually look at the score here. Tennessee. I want to see what the score of the Tennessee-Pittsburgh game is. If I can find it. God, there's so many to look at. Marshall beating Notre Dame was huge. Washington State beating Wisconsin. Texas A&M goes down to Appalachian State. It's just the weirdest. It's been the weirdest first 2 weeks of football I can remember. Texas almost beat Alabama. Let's see. What did you say, Tony? I did like some of the option plays from Kansas. I'll tell you, I like some of their schemes. I like what they're running. It's still a little sloppy. That's what I'm kind of noticing. That some of their schemes are busted plays. But I mean, West Virginia is over pursuing, and they've got to get that under control. The youth at the D-back position is what's killing us. They're not getting their heads around, and that just is a real killer. Is a real killer. So far, play calling, I'm pretty happy with it. The Donaldson kid, it doesn't look unstoppable this evening, which is fine. We kind of knew that would happen. Tony Mathis having a really good game so far. Bryce Ford Wheaton having a good game. St. James having a good game. All in all, it is a good game, but they've got to find a way to slow Kansas down for real. Kansas is the type of team that can match West Virginia score for score, and all take it down to who has the ball last is basically what that's looking like. Let's see. What do you think, Tony? You think what was your favorite upset of the day? I love the Marshall beating Notre Dame game. I watched that. That was that cost me my parlay, but it's hard to be too mad about a few bucks when Marshall beats Notre Dame and it makes you lose your parlay. I mean, there were some close games, like games that shouldn't have been close, that were a little closer than should have been, and games that I thought would be a little closer that weren't. The Alabama-Texas game was just a really good game from start to finish. I still can't believe Appalachian State beat Texas A&M. Looks like Houston and Texas Tech's going to go into overtime. Tennessee Pitt's in overtime. Oklahoma 0-0 Kent State at the end of one. And the guys that are affiliated with the channel that are there said that OU looks terrible. I'll tell you, Tony, I had a hard time with that game, man. I had a really hard time pulling for – I have a hard time pulling for Texas. Just when I think I can pull for Texas, they pan and I look at the fans and see them cussing and yelling and acting fools just because they didn't get a call. Like it's ridiculous to me. But I think West Virginia will get this lockdown. Their offense is definitely something that we haven't seen in the Neil Brown era. I mean, really, we haven't seen an offense with these kind of playmakers since he's been there. He'll pull for anybody that plays Bama, though. I mean, and I get that. I have a certain amount of respect for Alabama. And there's even a few teams that Texas is one of those teams that I just can't find myself rooting for. That was kind of like the Tennessee-Pittsburgh game. Like, I just, other than it being a good game going into overtime, I couldn't give a rat's behind. Sometimes you wish both teams could lose, but, that is what it is. I think games to watch tonight if you're looking for more upsets. I think BYU is going to give Baylor a game. I think that's going to be a really good game, 21-9. Stanford will give USC a game. That'll be a good game too. And then watch Virginia Tech and Boston College, because Virginia Tech may very well lose to Boston College. Just going to go ahead and lay that out there. They look so bad against Old Dominion on offense that they're halfway beaten just showing up. And I hate that for them. I'm not a Hokie fan or nothing, but it's one of the worst offensive performances I've ever seen. But no, West Virginia, all in all, I'm happy about it, about the way they've performed. Running the ball, throwing the ball. I mean, JT Daniels is so much better than Jared Dagey that it's insane. I think he's better than Will Grier, if I'm being honest. His throws are a lot more sharper and a lot more refined than Will's were. I think, those back shoulder throws and those throws out to the perimeter, man, he looks good. I think there was one where he threw it out to a sideline route, and I made the comment after the receiver call, I think it was Sam James, that, if that'd been Jared Dagey throwing the ball, it'd have been 3 feet over his head or 3 feet in front of him. I got somebody joining me here. Let's pop him in real quick. What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
Man, just talking a little football. Give me your thoughts on the day so far. Just give us a quick rundown.
I got App State upsetting Texas A&M and Notre Dame going down, and a lot of teams putting a lot of points up on the board. I think the 2 games I bet the under on both. No, I got Iowa State, Iowa on the under, but the other one, who else do I got? Doesn't matter. I lost it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, my parlay was dead the minute Notre Dame took the field, so that's okay.
Right.
Another big upset that, kind of an upset, Washington State over Wisconsin, 17-14. Maybe would have flown a little higher on the radar had Marshall not beat Notre Dame or had Appalachian State not beat A&M. I mean, that's nuts. They're FCS, right?
Who's that?
Appalachian State.
I was looking at that. No, they are FBS. They're one of the newer FBS teams. They're in the Sun Belt.
That's Jimbo wiping the sweat off his brow on that one.
He's in trouble. You talk about a coach in the hot seat.
Well, I mean, they were talking national championship. I was talking national championship with A&M. But, I mean, you can't drop the Appalachians. I mean, not only that, but they only put up 14 points. Like, you're going to play a lot more. Maybe Appalachian State's playing way up, or maybe they just have a really good team. But you're going to play teams that their defense.
They do. They always do have. They always play strong. So, I mean, they beat Michigan back in the day. So,
well, that was awesome, man. I'm. It's been a hard 2 weeks to predict what's going to happen. Like, this has been the weirdest 2 weeks of college football I've ever seen.
I love it. The unpredictability of it. Bad for betting for my side of things, but it's great for the fan. It's anything can happen.
Well, it makes you look at, like, it does me anyway. It makes me look at the portal and the NIL and how everything's working out and saying, now, wait a minute, these dominant teams are supposed to be staying dominant, and that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing a more diverse playing field of talent spread more evenly, or that's what it appears to be to me.
I agree.
Because, like Pittsburgh, West Virginia, like the recipients, USC, the recipients of some of these big transfers, I mean, they're benefiting greatly from them. I mean, if we didn't have JT Daniels, West Virginia wouldn't be the same team. There's no doubt about that. And it's just, it makes it interesting to see, how it'll look in 3 years from now when it's been going on for a full cycle, what the diversity will look like then.
Well, speaking of a couple of those teams, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, they are in overtime, and I think Pittsburgh has the score here. I'm keeping a close eye on that one.
Oh.
I know Hale talked to his Pitts, keeping an eye on that one too. So.
Well, now Pittsburgh, Slovis went out, right?
He did, yes.
And then their backup, did you say, did he tear an MCL or?
He's limping right now. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah. I mean, Slovis was getting beat up in that first half, man. Like, I was afraid that was going to be something that happened as much as he was getting hit.
All right, Sam, well, I want to check in with you, see what your thoughts were. I'm going to hop off. I'm going to continue listening to you on the feed, but I'm getting pulled away in a couple different directions.
All right, no problem, man. Thanks for hopping on.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
All right, later, buddy. Yeah, guys, if any of you guys are ever watching and you want to pop on with me, shoot me a message on Facebook or here on YouTube. You can send me an email, man. We'll get you set up, and you can pop in, talk some halftime, or if I have a video I have to do right after a game, you're more than welcome to come on and talk football with me. But guys, as we get ready for the second half of the game, let's see how this Tennessee-Pittsburgh game ends out. I think West Virginia is going to win by a couple of touchdowns. They just got to get that defense. They got to get that back end nailed down. How do I think OU will play tonight? You talking about Oklahoma or Oklahoma? If you're talking Oklahoma, from the guys that's there, McFly's there today, and he was talking about how slow Oklahoma looks and how awful their offensive line looks. I don't have all the games in front of me, but I mean, Oklahoma should be able to take care of business against Kent State. But I'll tell you, man, like predicting some of these games that these should be win games is rough. I mean, you just really don't know. Oklahoma should win on their coaching alone. Their coach should be able to outcoach Kent State's coaches. That's basically how I look at that. And that alone should win them the game. But, oh no. Pittsburgh just lost on 4th and goal in overtime. Well, that's a heartbreaker. Oh, I hate that for old Talkers Pitt, man. He's a good fella. He does a lot of content. He does a good job. That game, that Pittsburgh-Tennessee game was really hard to watch, and especially in the first half. It was really, I don't want to say sloppy, but I don't know. That Tennessee offense is hard to watch. They run plays so fast and everything. Like it's hard to watch. I just don't care much for it. Oh, Josh Heupel looks like Bobby Hill. Well, guys, it looks like the second half's about to start, so I'm going to pop off here, go check out the second half, and then I'm going to watch some of the Virginia Tech Boston College game. I may pop back on after a while, guys, so be on the lookout for that. If you haven't hit that subscription button, hit it, man. We're over 1,000 subscribers, almost to 1,100. We appreciate you guys so much for all the support. We really enjoy bringing the content out and appreciate you guys participating. Like I said, if you ever want to pop on with me, holler at me and let me know. We'll get you on. Anyway, enjoy the game, everybody. Have a good night.